So if you've seen a few of my videos, you probably noticed that I like to use stealth a lot. Your skill tree can be upgraded pretty easily to get stealth. As you can see in the agility tree, you just need 4 ranks and then upgrade. You don't even need the last upgrade, but that will help later on. There's just so many other great upgrades to get along the way, so I didn't finish that. But anyway, one of the best ways to increase your stealth, even after those, is to get a legendary piece of armor with the chameleon modifier on it. Yeah, legendaries can be random, so it might take you a while to get this, but I've found, like, I don't know, maybe 7 pieces of legendary gear with it. It's the most common modifier for me, so maybe it's not as uncommon as I might think. So that increases your stealth pretty well. As you can see, you crouch, makes you turn invisible. But your followers can also, they can be spotted by the enemies, so sometimes they ruin your stealth. So I like to give them one of these as well, so that way they can't ruin my stealth as easily. Or you could just run solo. Either way, it works. But for maintaining stealth, it's a pretty good idea to use VATS. As one would expect. It just makes it much easier to be sure that you're not going to miss. Once you have your perception up high, and you've maxed out your affinity with MacCready, then you get pretty easy headshots. Plus there's some books that help you out with that. Of course, things like opening doors, with those 2 rad roaches there, it is fairly difficult to avoid that situation.
Hey there.
You're gonna help me now, right?
Don't worry.
When it comes to these hostage situations,
Oh my god.
it's quite funny that you don't even need to kill all the enemies. Makes sense, I guess. And followers do like to get in your way, as you can see there, but you probably could have guessed that. But yeah, if you were wondering why I always aim for the head, it is because of that perk you get with MacCready, of course. Plus, head does way more damage than everything else. But getting your affinity all the way up with MacCready makes headshots much easier. You get 20% more accuracy when it comes to headshots. And 10 perception makes you quite accurate, especially up close with anything. I could just walk out, but I'd kind of like to clear the enemies. The more money, the better. It's one of those reasons why I believe yeah, Fortune Finder. Pretty good perk. Once you've got it to level 3, you'll get like at least 10 caps in just about every container. Which that adds up real quick. And then the last upgrade, as you can see here, causes enemies to sometimes explode into a bunch of caps. Usually it's not more than 20 though. But that combined with looting containers and every one of them containing just about 10 caps adds up quite a lot. How did that guy not notice me when I came through here the first time? The world may never know.
What, I saw something.
Getting your stealth all the way up also allows you to walk and run without your stealth being extremely effective. It's not like Skyrim where when you sprinted after you had your stealth all the way leveled up, well, it didn't even need to be fully leveled actually. Nor does it need to be fully leveled here, but when you would sprint or walk, it wouldn't affect your stealth at all, but in this game, it does indeed affect your stealth just a little bit. The only effect it had in Skyrim was the fact that you're standing up, so you're slightly easier to see from farther away. So it was something you just use to move out of the way in a quick burst. Or of course you could just use your combat roll that you would get from the stealth tree in Skyrim as well, but there's no combat roll here, unfortunately. That was really good for stealth. Especially before you got that upgrade that made your footsteps entirely silent no matter what. Then you could just go everywhere. Combat roll. So really, my greatest tip for Fallout 4 would just be to, if you need to stand up, just walk, but not too fast. And then crouch and move as slow as possible when you're using melee weapons, but if you like to use guns most of the time like me, then you can move at maximum speed while crouching. And it won't really matter. And because of the chameleon thing, lower level enemies have a hard time seeing you in general. Like for a lot of the lower level enemies, you can literally like sit directly in front of them, just crouched, just like this. If there was an enemy in front of me and he wouldn't even notice me, but once you have a higher level enemy, then they don't really fall for that, so. Another thing, at the lower levels of stealth, these turrets will see you pretty easily, but at the higher levels of stealth, I can stand right in front of you, and it takes quite a bit longer for it to spot me than it would if it was no stealth at all. But that's a basic guide to your stealth gameplay. Very basic indeed.